The whole getting older thing for you, how does that, is it trouble you a little bit? Or are you comfortable with it? Is it only something that kind of sits in the back of your head and you think about it every once in a while? Or is it kind of coming to the forefront now that you're a particular age?
I didn't know how old I am actually when I was 40. I didn't count my years at all. They had to remind me that I'm 40. It was like I completely out of my mind. I was living for the day, and they told me tomorrow is your 40th birthday. I said, really? Yeah. I was thinking I'm 38, or 35, but I'm 40 now.
Which one is the sailor song again? What is it called?
It's called the Hollandian, but it means the flying Dutch, in the translation. Yeah, Hollandian. Hollandian is Czech name for the Dutch.
Do you have some attachment to the sea or the ocean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in soul, in my soul, I'm a sailor.
Pozoruju nebesa, zdá dobrý vítr vhane nám. Možná dnes či možná zítra dorazí pan obchodník s kompasem a správným kurzem na břeh moře k nám. Na útesech nad mořem
The problem is that our country hasn't got a sea and the ocean. We had a river, and I had a boat on the river. I used to have a houseboat where I lived, and I had a small boat, like a yacht, and this is actually where, it actually started in my childhood, where you were watching, sailors movie, and I was actually growing up on sailor songs, so I really liked it, and the adventure, it was something for me too far away that I wanna reach it, so it was just for my imagination, something special, So the love to the ships, to the sailing, to pirates, it's probably from my childhood, and I feel like sailing, but I'm not. Unfortunately.
My soul again is gone. Ho ho ho. Maybe yes or maybe no.
And with the sailor songs, I've got so many tries on a paper, which I didn't actually put to the final end. It's like I wrote so many stories, and I said it's too cheap, It's just drop it, It's something, and again, months after I try again. Didn't really go well, and actually the sailor song you know now, but it's the first one. It's the first one which I really make, and it sounds like a sailor song, So, and what's funny, last year we the band which we have, we actually had a few gigs where we were playing sailor songs only. It was like our performance, on stage, doing sailor songs, and I love it. It was amazing. It was like we had a beautiful stage with ball, with anchor and barrels, and all that. All striped t-shirts. I really enjoyed it, and I felt a little bit frustrated that I couldn't write anyone. It was like I can write about anything. Well, of course not, but the sailors just I couldn't make it. So actually, I'm very proud of my first sailor song I wrote.
Možná dnes či možná zítra duše stále někde lítá, přiletí a po své nohy obouvám. Obchodník mě prodal kurz, kompas míří na sever, na rybářské lodi odplouvám. Ho, 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 lamenting on the seashore.
Very often I write the songs or the lyrics when I'm driving, I'm driving in a traffic jam, I stop, and you just, very slowly moves. So this is the time where actually I take my phone, I'm typing. The first original version wasn't Sailor at all. I was actually standing on my garden, looking not to the sea horizon, but I was looking at the forest, And in the car, I changed it. I don't know what. Maybe I heard something in the radio or there was something, and I said, I'm not standing on my garden, I'm standing on the seashore.
Lamenting on the seashore, ho, ho, ho. Sober sailor standing alone, ho, ho, ho.
With the English, lyrics, and I felt like this is what I was missing, It was the puzzle, and I was so looking forward to go home and record this.
Stále někde lítá, přiletí, já se nohy obouvám. Obchodník mi prodal kurz, kompas míří na sever, na rybářské lodi odplouvám. Ho, 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 lamenting on the seashore, ho, ho, ho. Sober sailor standing alone, ho, ho, ho. Where is my soul again is gone, ho, ho, ho. Maybe yes or maybe no.
There's more things, in 50. 50 it's terrible age. I don't like it. And I don't like it from other reason. I had like with my wife at this moment, I've got some kind of crisis, So it hit me at the age of 50, and I don't know. You realize that how long are we gonna be in progress age, and I spent 20 years with somebody who I loved, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna spend another 20 years with her.
Zima sice po ráno, dřevo už dělat nebudu, to už doklepu. Budem ještě zpívat pod oknem, budem mít tu odvahu.
HEBE is the Greek mythology woman, she was the one who actually served the lecture of spring, of youth, and but the song is about the middle age crisis, and I'm actually singing there and asking myself if I've got that middle age crisis, but I felt myself too old to have a middle age.
You missed it.
So I missed that. So this must be the older one, And do I have to put the wood in the stove? I just, how long shall I be here? Does the heat is gonna warm me up for the rest of my life?
Kde vlastně střední věk? A jak ta krize vypadá? Tak to už jsem zdá se prošel dřív. Teď to na tu starší připadá.
When is my last night, And again, shall I sing? There is one lyric like, shall I sing under the window to my loved one, and no, I'm actually too old to sing there, and I can look at the door, but I'm not knocking at the door, It's like, and then I'm asking actually HEBE to bring me the lecture of freshness, and get me a bit younger, and still have the reason to do those things,
Yeah, this is one of the songs where I really realized that you probably do write these things out before, and how important the story and the writing is, because the writing on this one is really nice. It stands alone by itself. It doesn't read like a song. it reads like prose, and somehow that you fit that into a song is really special.
And in HEBE, it was actually a poem, it was actually a poem, and which I actually think.
Teď to na tu starší připadá.
And then I found like maybe there is somebody who can help me, and it's the lady there who is serving the nectar, maybe she helps me. So I'm really asking her, and this is actually that part I like when I'm actually go and I'm talking to HEBE, and
I put that in my head too. That we will still sing beneath the windows. We will still find the courage to glance at the door, though I no longer knock. I mean, that's the song reads so. It's such a pretty song.
Zavoním se roznebe, zatancuj nám a já okolí.
I think too the things in your environment too, like you said, your kids are a certain age, so that reflects how old you are. Your parents get to a certain age if they're still alive. That's really sobering.
Yeah, I can see it on my dad. He's very old. He's he's 90 and still very independent. But for example, on my father, I can see his last 30 years with no change at all. I can see him in his living room watching TV. For the last 30 years. I don't want to be like that. Maybe he's very happy. He's very comfortable. He's done what he has had to do through the life, and now he's got the time just sit in front of TV and be. But I'm scared of that. And this is what I'm saying. He started to be like that in 60s. So 10 more years of active life. This is scary. Because I remember how fast last 10 years went. Those might be even faster. As actually it starts like it's sunny day, very hot day, and you're walking on the country road, and there are puddles, and they are drying out, And it was what I actually went through. I went for a walk to the other village, very hot day. Puddles from the last night storm were drying, the frogs were there, and I was passing the cemetery, because the road goes next to the cemetery, and I had a little break there, just sit down. There's a nice bench, so I sit there, and this is where it came the song, and I'm actually meeting the dead there, and there's a devil lying in the grass, sunbathing, but waiting for me as well.
Smrťák je upocený, s kosou trávu asi nejde sekat, v mých botách mu to celkem sluší.
I didn't want to make it sound so serious, so I use whistling. I can't whistle. This is a problem. I can't whistle. I was actually practicing whistling in the car. I was like, I couldn't do it. And I said, gosh, it's really terrible. It was horrible. It was like if you could hear me whistling, you put fingers in your ears, but actually through the microphone, it sound somehow that you could use it. Those two guys, the death and the devil, and of course I know what they want, and I don't want to give it to them, Start to gamble with them, and we play the cards, and we all offer what we had. You know, I offered my life. I don't know if you got the same saying, but we do. To have a luck in gambling, in playing, you have to have unluck in your life. You know.
In your love, or in your love?
Yeah, in a love, you know, with for example, with your wife, with your lover, yeah, in a love. So I was pretty sure that I will beat them because I've got now difficult. I haven't got luck in my love, you know. So I know that I must have a luck in a game, you know. Oh, and they were playing and they were losing, but I was calm and sure that I'm gonna beat them, and actually I will walk away as a winner. Even that I'm not a winner because the win is to have somebody next to you who laugh you and you can laugh, you know, as well.
Podepiš mi to, smrťáku ty je lito, čerte ty kopyto, platí to.
So, and it's none of the songs is actually simple and easy, you know, and I wish that they are more easier and more simple, but they are quite heavy stuff, you know.
That's what I was going to say. You have this, but you approach this stuff with a light, like a sense of humor. There's this element of humor.
There is lots of humor in
which is basic humility. You know, there's a sense of humility through all the stuff you're going through, which people can relate to completely.
I must put the humor there, because otherwise it wouldn't be me. You know, I like humor. You know, even when you challenge something in your life, you know, and difficult stuff, and at work or with your kids, you know, have to find some humor in it, you know, because kind of humor, you know. So don't make the life too serious, you know. Even it is, you know, it's very serious.
Ho, 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 lamenting on the seashore. Ho, 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 sober sailor standing alone. Ho, 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 where is my soul again is gone. Ho, 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 maybe yes or maybe